Are you over 40, running on empty and wondering why every afternoon feels like a battle just to stay awake? Hi, I'm Basswood, and in this video I talk about how fasting helped me feel better at 45 than I ever did at 30, with more energy, sharper focus, and deeper sleep than I ever thought possible. If you've been searching for a natural way to boost energy, reset your metabolism, or just break free from the afternoon crashes, this video could be your turning point. Let's dive in. So I woke up one morning tired from yet another full night's rest. I slept for 8 hours, but I was dead tired when I opened my eyes. And since it was Sunday and I didn't have to get up at 5:30 to go to work, I stared at the ceiling and I started to do an inventory of my life. I was 45 years old. I was a mother of two boys that were under 10 years old, and I had no energy. I hadn't slept well for the last 20 years. I had no motivation for anything, not even getting out of bed that morning, and I could barely hold on, and I was barely holding on in the afternoon after my 9 to 5. And the afternoons were where the excitement actually began, because when I came home, all three boys, like with my husband, were screaming, "I'm hungry, I have to do my homework, help me to study." I had laundry to do, I had dishes to do, there was vacuuming to be done. It was incredible, and all I wanted to do was just crawl into bed and sleep for a week. And what was worst of all, I was overridden by guilt, because my boys have been asking me, for better? Okay. My boys have been asking me for the past week to go on a hiking trip with them in our town to our very, 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 very small hill, because there was a new tree house built there. And all I could think about was, I don't have any hiking pants, because I outgrew the hiking pants that I bought last year. And this was getting to be a real problem. So the questions, if you have the same life situation and if you don't know where to start, this is what helped me. But it was a little easier for me since I have been doing this for the past 28 years, 27 last year. But if you are in the same life position as me, ask yourself these three questions. How bad is it? I mean, really, really, how bad is it? Write down every annoyance that you can think of. It may be just, one little thing, or one big thing, or, 100 of little things. Keep a diary and just write, not for 10 minutes, but write for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, as long as you can manage without, your family breaking down the door, and be alone. Even better if you can get outside into nature and take your pen and diary with you and write without being disturbed. That is the best possible option to do this. But just write. how bad is it? How do I feel? What do I want to change? What medical problems I have that are really hindering the way that I want to live? And then when you have that, think about from 1 to 10, what would, if you would like to, if you could measure it from 0 to 10, 0 being no problem and 10 being no way in hell, what would it mean to you, and how would you feel if you would not be eating for 3 weeks? So, are you such a person that if you decide something, if you say, I'm going to do it, are you such a person that you really actually do what you said that you're going to do? And here's the thing, not only to other people, but also to yourself. And I have found out for myself that I always promise people something that they want, and I always deliver, even over-deliver. But when it comes to myself, I rarely do what I say that I'm going to do. But in this, I was adamant. I felt really guilty about that hiking trip, and I really felt bad because I didn't have any energy, because I was, my fingers hurt because they were so swollen that I had to pull my wedding ring off every night, because in the morning my ring finger would be so swollen that I couldn't even turn it, let alone get it off my finger. So that's how bad I had it. And from 0 to 10, I was 0, no problem, just let's do it. And then the third thing that I want you to do is imagine what your life would be like if you went through with it. If you wouldn't be eating for 3 weeks, if you would be fasting, if you would do something for your health and for your mind. Because let me tell you, after 28 years of experience, I had bad experience and I had good experience with fasting, but every single time I felt different. I felt energized. I definitely felt like I could move mountains, and my confidence was over the roof, and my sleep improved. So, before I continue, I would like to know your number. Not your phone number, but your number from 0 to 10. What would that number be if you had to decide today? And would you be able to keep your word to yourself? Now, write it down in the comments, and let's see if we can make something out of it. After 3 weeks went by, when I had no food inside of my body, and I was on full fasting mode with my Broy's fasting method, the results looked something like this. I was still 45 years old. However, I felt better than when I was 30 years old. What else? Before, I had no energy. Now, even when I was fasting, especially when I was fasting, I was bursting at the seams. I mean, it was incredible, and I just didn't know what to do. I was wondering what to do next. My husband and my kids, they just couldn't keep up with me. We were running around, we were cycling. I was cooking them crazy dinners and the lunches that I never ate before, because I wanted to explore what kind of good food we could eat. It was incredible, and that was after I came home from work. The sleep, it was incredible. The nights were resting. The nights were basically filled with dreams, and they were dreams. Sometimes they were nightmares, but sometimes they were dreams that were full of potential, that was full of promise. And I actually was looking forward of getting to bed early, just because I couldn't wait what my brain is going to think of next. And the motivation part, it was gone. I mean, just point me to a problem and I would go, go, go. And what else? Afternoons, basically, not the cooking and not the driving around, but they were my favorite part of the day because I could spend it with my kids and I had energy to do so. We were playing cards, we were playing board games, there was no television, we were exploring the nature. It was incredible. And the treehouse, we went on my 7th day of the fast, and I was basically running up the hill. My wedding ring was on all of the time, even at night, and every day there was a new adventure. Every day I wanted to try a new sport. Every day I've discovered that I could go further and I could go longer. So in addition to that, I've discovered that I loved outdoors now that I have the energy. And basically every weekend I was planning our new outdoor adventure just because I could. So what do you think about those two scenarios? Are you the same as me before, or are you the same as me now? I'm not saying that this is how I feel all the time, but this is how I feel when I am fasting, and I don't know, at least a month after my fasting period. I am full of energy, I am light on my feet, I am fast thinking, I am focused, and I am really, really creative. So this is the state I would like to be in all the time. However, that's exactly not true, because once I start eating again, and once I start eating again under stress, or even not under stress, just under stress, all of the problems return. So the swollen joints, the lack of energy, the lack of sleep, and the desire to crawl into bed every day when I come back from work is very, very real. But if we can change that, and if we can change that not just by fasting, but also by eating properly every day, or at least, 80% of the time, I think that I could achieve that desire, that desired outcome of having energy and being able to run around with my kids, at least now that they still want me around them. How about you?